including everyone reaching us through Smart Bilal, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Radio 1584, and all Madina media platforms. Today's Juma Talk at Masjid al-Haq at the entrance of Lodiam, Pretoria, Republic of South Africa, is entitled The Uncompromising Stance on Tawhid, based on chapter 40, ayah 14 of the Holy Quran. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So call, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the believers, that you believe in Allah, making your worship purely for Him. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. The talk will be delivered by Sheikh Imran Kube, a graduate of Darul Ulum Al-Arabiya Al-Islamiyya, Cape Town, and is currently sitting for his Masters in Clinical Psychology at the University of South Africa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم واكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل اخلاقنا بالحلم واجعلنا ممن يستمعون قولك فيتبعون احسنه. اللهم اجعل اعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها قدرا لغيرك. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد النبي الامي وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. First of all, we praise and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who in His infinite mercy has once again accepted us to be present on this day of Jumu'ah in His masjid. The best days of the days of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is this day of Jumu'ah. For it is mentioned that from the fada'il, from the virtues of this day of Jumu'ah, is that from one Jumu'ah to the next Jumu'ah, all of our minor sins are forgiven. So we ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our gathering. We ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts our gathering, inshaAllah. My beloved brothers, today we will be reflecting on a verse of the Quran in chapter 40, verse 14, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَدَعُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْكَافِرُونَ. That call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone in devotion sincerely, even to the dismay of the disbelievers. Even if the disbelievers dislike that you are calling upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, still call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my beloved brothers, we will be looking at this verse and reflecting on three specific points. Firstly, what does ikhlas, what does mukhlis, what is a mukhlis, what does ikhlas mean? Secondly, what are the fawaid al-tawhidiyya, what are the virtues and the benefits of believing in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And lastly, what should be our attitude when it comes to facing the disbelievers and their criticism of us? So firstly, my beloved brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins this verse by saying, فَدَعُوا اللَّهُ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. That call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, ikhlasan. Call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with ikhlas. What does ikhlas mean? The word ikhlas is loosely translated to mean sincerely. So that when we are calling upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not just making dua, this verse is also alluding that when we perform ibadah and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should do it in such a manner that is done sincerely. So, my beloved brothers, we might think that the verse is obviously alluding that to the aspect of Tawhid, but also importantly, it's alluding to our relationship and how we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That we should worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ikhlasan, with sincerity. And if we think to ourselves, we perform, mashallah, five salahs daily. But in that salah, are we performing it ikhlasan? Are we performing it sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Does the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala crosses our mind when we are in salah? This is definitely a scary thought, my beloved brothers. Because how many times do we find ourselves when we are performing salah that not even one time in our salah the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala crosses our mind? This shows that this quality of ikhlas, the quality of sincerity is lacking in our lives, my beloved brothers. It reminds us of the hadith of Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam when he came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked him, Ya Jibreel, man ihsan? What is ihsan? This is one of the questions the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked him. And Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam responds and says that ihsan an ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarah, fa'in lam takun tarah fa'innahu yarah. That ihsan, that this quality of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the highest degree, the pinnacle, ikhlasan, is that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you can see Him. That you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you can see Him. But the hadith doesn't stop there. The hadith says that, okay, if you can't reach that level, then go to a level lower than that. And what is that level lower than that? That when you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you. So if our iman is not on that level where we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if we can see Him, know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees us. So this is the qualities that we must strive for, my beloved brothers. This is the quality of ikhlas that we should strive to cultivate within us. Because we know on a daily basis, my beloved brothers, we're performing salah, we're doing acts of worship, but the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not crossing our minds. And there's a funny story in which one day there was an imam and he was performing salah and the congregation was following him. But the imam only performed 3 raka'at of salah and he completed the salah. He was supposed to perform 4 raka'at, but he only performed 3 raka'at. And so one of the members after the salah told the imam, you have made a mistake. You have only performed 3 raka'at of salah, you haven't performed 4. And so the imam was curious, that how did you know that I only performed 3? So the person said, no, because I have 4 businesses, and in every raka'ah I remember the businesses and what is the problems with the business, and that's how I knew that you only perform 3 raka'ah instead of 4. So this is the plight, my beloved brothers. This is the condition of our salah. This is the condition of our ibadah towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we haven't cultivated this quality of ikhlas. And so we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the ability to perform His worship, ikhlas and sincerely, only for His sake, my beloved. Then, the second point we're going to reflect on is some of the benefits of believing in one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So an author, he mentions many benefits of believing in one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to believe in Tawhid. And I've selected just 5 of the benefits that we can derive from believing in one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Firstly, the person that believes in Tawhid is that this individual can never have a narrow outlook on life. The person that believes in Tawhid can never have a narrow outlook on life. Why? Because the person who believes in Tawhid, in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, understands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created everything around us. And understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created everything, he understands the vast power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, a believer's outlook in life can never be the same as a non-believer. His outlook in life is much more broader because he understands the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the author mentions the second benefit. The second benefit is that the one who holds on to this belief in Tawheed has the utmost self-respect and self-esteem. And why is this? It's because when a person believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator, he has a level of humility. He has tawadu, he has humility. He doesn't walk in the street knowing and understanding that, no, I am, so and so, I am this big guy. No, he understands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one and the true creator and the one that is in charge. Therefore, a believer that holds on to this quality or this belief in Tawheed can never have arrogance, because he understands that the one who's in charge is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the author mentions a third benefit of Tawheed, that the person believing in this Tawheed, it makes one virtuous and upright. A person that believes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control and has the power and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him myself, he will try to cultivate qualities within himself that makes himself pleasing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And just imagine, we have a very good example in our country, mashallah, Dr. Imran Suleiman. We see the efforts that he makes in the communities. And why does he do this? He's doing this to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a believer trying to make himself pleasurable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cultivate these qualities, and therefore it will be a benefit not only to himself but to the entire humanity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the understanding. The fourth benefit that the author mentions about believing in Tawhid is that he says that the believer derives strength from his understanding that Allah is the being that has all power, that success and favor comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just imagine, my beloved brothers, picture yourself in that situation when you were in desperate need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or that moment in time when we made sincere tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We understood and we could feel the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we turned towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ikhlasan, sincerely. And therefore, my beloved brothers, when we believe in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will understand that even if it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will feel the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we call upon Him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought us the understanding. Then, the last benefit that the author mentions is that the individual believing in Tawhid, in one Creator, it provides the believers with bravery because they understand that eventually we all return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Verily we come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our return. So believing in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believing in Tawheed makes a believer brave. How many times have we found in the annals of our history when the Muslims would encounter an enemy? What would they tell this enemy? That, oh enemy, do not come fight us. Go back to your homes. Go back to your wives. Look after your children. Take care of your people. Because if you come to us, you are fighting a people that loves death as much as you love life. This is what happens when a believer cultivates this kalima, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in his life. This belief in Tawheed, he understands that eventually we all return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then lastly, my beloved brothers, the verse ends off where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْكَافِرُونَ. Even if the disbelievers dislike the fact that you are calling upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hold on to this belief. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us that no matter where we go, the disbelievers will always have some dislike in us worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even if that is the case, we should still hold steadfast on the belief in the wonders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. So in summary, my beloved brothers, today we have reflected on the verse, chapter 40, verse 40, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we should call upon Him alone, despite the disbelievers disliking this quality of us. And we have reflected specifically on the quality of ikhlas, and we have looked at the benefits of Tawheed, and we have understood what our attitude should be when we are facing disbelievers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our lives. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the understanding. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us this quality of ikhlas in our lives. وَمَا تَوْفِيقِي إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ.